Hi class, it's Miss Choi. Welcome to Mars Day 2. Alright, so from now on what we're going to do, try to hold it together a little bit more, is that we're going to watch some videos of me kind of giving some mini lectures on the objectives, and then you're going to go ahead and take notes. Then afterwards I'm going to give you some instructions on how to work through problems together, okay? Alright, so there's going to be kind of a lot of me talking, so please be patient, but hopefully it will kind of help us along and make sure that everyone feels really good about the math, okay? Alright, so I need everyone to take out their notes paper that looks like this. If you notice, the objective of the video is going to be in a darker black, and the objectives for the whole unit will still be listed in gray, but this is the one that we're going to focus on now. By the end of this video and by the end of all of those practice problems, my hope is that you will be able to explain how a quadratic function grows, especially in terms of t-table, okay? All right. 1 second. Let me get this up. Alrighty. We are going to go through this part of the notes. Okay? So first of all, a graph. What does a quadratic function look like? What shape does it make? In 3, 2, 1, you can shout it out. Okay, hopefully you shout it out. A U. Quadratic function always makes a U. Remember that it is indeed symmetrical. Symmetrical, which means that if you were to fold it, it's kind of hard to videotape and talk at the same time, not going to lie. If you were to fold the parabola in half, it would be the same on both sides, like a mirror, okay? All right, and the reason it makes a U shape and is symmetrical is because it has that squared, like because the x is squared. And that, for some reason in math, it always will make this shape, okay? So it will always make a U. You can call it whatever makes sense to you, just whatever helps you. But I like thinking of it as a U. It will always make a U because the x term is squared. Remember the official fancy-dancy academic word for this shape is a parabola. Okay? Alright. Remember you guys can pause this video at any time if you need to ask your group questions or to get a better understanding of what's going on, alright? So now we're going to move on to t-table. Just talk a little bit about how quadratic function t-tables grow. Okay, so first of all, sorry, it's a little bit blurry. But first of all, you can assume, number one, that this is a quadratic function t-table. Remember that your x is always your input and your y is always your output. So we do something to this number and it turns into this number, okay? It's still a little blurry, so I'm going to go ahead and try to figure out how to make this look less blurry. Okay. Thanks for bearing with me. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and do what we call the carrot strategy, finding the differences, because to me, that makes a lot of sense. Okay? All right. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and find the caret between each of the y values. Now, I want to point out something important, which is that your x's, they're in order. And they're also only going up by 1. So it's not like -10, 100, -100, but it goes from smaller number to bigger number. Right? So that remember that that's an important piece of how we organize t-tables. Okay, so to find carets, we just need to find the difference, okay? So from 4 to 1, what do we need to do to 4 to get to 1? Well, we need to subtract 3, right? Because 4 subtract 3 is 1. All right. And then from 1 to 0, we need to subtract 1. To go from 0 to 1, we need to add 1, right? 0 plus 1 is 1. 1 plus 3 will be 4. Okay? So we use carousel bot just to think about what we call quote unquote the grow by. So this is like your first difference, or if you want to go ahead, you can call it your first grow by. I know you guys really like that word. So let's look at this. Last week when we did linear tables, the first grow by was always the same number, right? But this time we notice that it's not, it's different. And so we don't just throw up our hands and go, oh my goodness, it's different, what do we do? Well, 1, it's different, so we know it's not linear. But 2, we can go ahead and find the grow by of the grow by, okay? Or as we can also call it, the second difference. Woohoo! Okay, alrighty, so the second difference. Let's see, from -3, some number I have to add or subtract to get to -1. Well, if I owe $3 and I only want to owe $1, then I need to give $2 back, right? So I need to add 2. Woo! Add 2 to -3. Okay, and then from -1, if I want to go to +1, I need to also add 2. If I want to go from +1 to +3, I need to add 2 again. Okay, so what do you notice? So this one is different. Look at this one. They are all 2's. So maybe we have a pattern, maybe we don't. So again, in math, remember that whenever you notice some sort of pattern, you want to test it out with similar scenarios, similar cases to see if indeed that pattern holds true. Okay, so right now I have all these +2's. Is it always going to be +2? Is it always going to be the same number? Is it going to be, I don't know, what have you? Or, yeah, let's just test out our pattern, okay? So the way we're going to do that now is that we're going to go over and we're going to try to apply the same caret strategy, which is like finding the differences, to these 2 tables, which you can also assume are quadratic t tables already, okay? So this is what I want you to do. I want you to push pause, and as a group, I want you to go ahead and try to find the difference. I want you to notice one thing here. This one is also in order, just like this one, right? They're slightly different numbers, but it's still in order. And it's going up by 1. This one is also going from smaller to bigger number, but I want you to notice that, look, it's skipping 2, okay? So these are similar in that they're all increasing, but it's different in that this one is going from -3, it's jumping to -1, it's jumping to 1, it's jumping to 3, it's jumping to 5. So let's see how if it's similar or different. Okay? Alright, so I need you to pause or actually stop it altogether, and then I need you, when you are done, to click on the next video, which is Objective 1B. Okay? See you guys soon. Bye.